Hello, and welcome to Happy Horror Time. My name is Tim Murdoch.
And my name is Matt Emmert, and we are coming at you, I was going to say live, but we are not live, but this is our first video.
Oh gosh, everything's different.
It really is. So everyone, we've been talking about this. Well, actually, we've only been telling our patrons about this because we kind of wanted to keep it under wraps, but we wanted to experiment with video, right?
Because it's a whole new world. Thank you.
2025, everyone. But, you know, we've been doing this podcast for a number of years, and we've been doing audio only episodes, even our interviews. But we were like, you know, I think people want to see us, Tim.
I mean, this is weird because we've done 230. How many episodes?
We're up to 240 now.
240 times we've just looked like crap, and today I got all.
We're still looking like crap.
I got all guzzied up.
Oh my god! Yeah, as you can see, we really dressed up for the occasion. And everyone who's still listening to us on an audio only platform, we are still going to be doing the podcast the same way. You're still going to get the same whatever you got out of this just listening to us. But now you can see us.
You could still just like have YouTube on in the background,
or you can just have the audio podcast on while you're driving and hear us and not watch us, or you can watch us and put it on mute and not even hear us.
Can you listen to YouTube while you drive?
You can yes, you can if you have, like, we connect our phone to CarPlay and you can listen to it, but you can't watch it.
Too high tech.
You can't watch it though. But like, yes, this is a new thing for us, so bear with us. We're going to be experimenting with stuff, but you see our nice little backdrop filled with horror art. And by the way, we own all of these pictures.
Well, none of my art is up there. I own no art.
Jacob and I own all of these pictures.
But we have artist Robert Pecor.
Yes, Robert Pecor. Tim can never pronounce his name correctly.
No.
If you go to the Art of Robert Pecor, his Instagram page, you can find like this. I was going to say misery. I was going to say werewolf. Because we're talking about, this is Kathy Bates, but he has done this Michael Myers picture. God, I'm so conscious about
me too.
Looking around. I'm like,
again, this is our first time being in front. I usually just look at Matt.
I know, and it's like, I'm just like, how do you even deal with just being able to stare at me?
Kelly Ripa and her husband do it every day.
Exactly, but I got that as a gift, the Michael Myers profile. Jacob and I did this puzzle during the pandemic. No, that's not yours. That's ours.
None of it. None of it's mine.
Oh my God, PJ. So a lot of this is art from our friend, but we just have so much horror stuff. We're probably going to rotate things in and out of here at different times. So you may see different pictures, different figures.
My headshot, 8x10.
Yes, exactly. Tim's number that you can give to all your agents.
It's usually in a bathroom.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I don't know where that came from.
Tim, I thought I was the dirty one.
You are. You're filth.
Yeah. So wow, you just read me for filth. Do you like that phrase?
Yeah.
Now that's the T.
Oh,
Tim's catchphrase.
I don't even say that. Matt is pushing that on me, and I'm like,
I want Tim to have a catchphrase. I really do. So I'm so weird because I'm like, we're kind of looking at the camera, but I'm also looking at you. I want it to be natural.
Me, I'm beautiful.
Okay, look, Tim. Hey guys.
I'm bold and beautiful.
So if you're listening to this episode and not watching it, you're like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Again, this is all new to us, and we, it's not like we did like a run through.
We did a rehearsal. No, not at all. As you know, we are not very rehearsed, but we always talk a little bit about what's been going on lately, and the biggest thing in my life right now is we just got a new TV.
Yeah, it's huge. That's what she said.
We used to have a 60-inch, and now it is 77 inches.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what's in my pants.
Oh
Tim.
my God.
We have a 77-inch screen. Jacob and I were like, you know what? Instead of getting each other gifts this year, and it makes it a lot easier, we're just going to put in money together to get a new TV. And we got like a 4K, all those things I don't understand, LED, whatever, LG TV. LGBTQ plus TV. Can you imagine if they had?
It's a gay TV.
It's really gay. No, but it is so beautiful.
I need to tell everyone.
I'm going
to tell everyone.
Tell everyone.
All millions of you listening, probably 5. When Matt's TV started dying, because TVs die.
Our old TV.
Yeah, your old TV. There was like dots on the TV that were like white, it looked like 3 little suns. And we really added something. Like sometimes when you were watching TV, it was like the suns would be like on the people's eye.
And you know what I really appreciated? When all of my friends would call out the dots on our TV. No, you're not the only one, but
no,
yes.
My TV is tiny.
I had our TV I had since 2016, and I don't know, I guess that's how TVs age. They get weird spots in them that are like just light spots.
They're like equivalent to like like age spots on old people. Like I have them.
So like TVs get age spots. And so these weird spots would show up and you wouldn't see them when it was dark. Or no, when you would see them when it was dark because it'd be this bright light spot. But when it was light on the TV screen, it would just blend in. So you wouldn't see it. Anyway, I was tired of hearing everyone say that. And I was like, Jacob, I want to get a 4K player. We spend, Tim and I so much time.
No money.
No, we spend time. So much time. We're so manic right now.
I know.
We spend so much time watching movies that we're like, if we're going to invest in something, it should be a TV.
I agree. I don't know how many movies I've watched at your house.
How many, Tim?
I'm going to say 1 million.
Tim usually comes over to our house because it would be tough for me to fit into.
Could you imagine?
If I wanted to watch a movie at Tim's place, I'd have to be in his bed.
Which would be awkward.
I gotta say, that's gotta work for your dating life, though, because if you ever invite a guy over to watch a movie, you have to be in bed together.
And it's true, and it's happened. It's the truth.
Tim, filth.
I mean, it's innocent.
I thought you're waiting till marriage.
I am.
Yeah,
First time.
So Tim comes over here all the time. We use this TV. So we just got it. We also got a 4K Blu-ray player. And so we've started to buy 4K Blu-rays of some of our favorite movies. So just yesterday, we watched one of Jacob's favorite, the original Terminator in 4K. And I got to tell you, it was like watching a different movie.
No, I love it. The Terminator, and actually, I loved watching the Terminator with you and Jacob. It did look like a brand new film. But then we watched the deleted scenes, and I felt so bad because it was all Linda Hamilton's talking scenes.
It was like she's like expanding on stuff. But I will say one thing I called everyone's attention to, a very important thing that you can only see in 4K, is when Arnold Schwarzenegger first shows up as the Terminator and he's naked, there's like a full frontal scene and you see his dong like flapping around.
It's really quick. He's in, what's that like major LA like place where he was?
Oh, God. Griffith Park.
No, it's Griffith Park, but it's a famous, like, is it an art gallery? What is that place? Anyways, they filmed Rebel Without a Cause there, but it's a famous LA spot.
So anyway, Arnold is walking naked. And, back then, and also I think they figured they would just darken it up. He wasn't wearing anything to cover that. And in 4K, you see it flapping around. And Tim was like...
I did. I was like, oh gosh, I see it.
I mean, well, it's just funny because when you watched this, especially as like a kid, VHS or whatever, you wouldn't be able to see anything. And so there's so many things I could see. The diner Linda Hamilton works at in the Terminator,
which is in Pasadena.
I could see the menu, the things on the wall. Like, again, I think a lot of people think, 4K TV, whatever. How can it? It's not much different. It really is different.
It makes a difference.
And this part of the show was paid for by LG Electronics.
LGBT TVs.
I'm trying to think if anything else major has happened. We talked about this a little on one of our bonus episodes, but everyone knows Los Angeles has been going through the wildfires, which has been really depressing 9 days, and it continues to be depressing, but we're trying to be a bright light. We really are. The thing is that we were luckily not affected. Tim and I, both of our places.
We're mentally affected.
Yes, both of our places, we were both close to having to evacuate, but never had to. We both know people who've lost stuff. We feel for everyone who has been affected, all the first responders. But I realized when I listened back to our bonus episode, we spent a while talking about it, and it's so depressing. I'm like, maybe we shouldn't spend as much time.
Yeah, I mean, but if you want to join our bonus episodes, you can.
Oh, actually, but this is a perfect time to plug our Patreon. If you like what you see, and no, if you like what you hear, actually, we talk about all past movies in our bonus episodes.
All the oldies but goodies.
Yeah, and something we don't do on our normal episodes. So if you're like, I really want them to talk about Hellraiser 4 Bloodline.
I really want them to all talk about Christine.
Yes, well, we did an episode on Christine.
Yeah, we actually did.
So yeah, you can join patreon.com/Happy Horror Time. But not just that, Tim. You get access to episodes.
And I want to give a shout out to my sister-in-law who joined twice.
She joined twice.
Thank you, Lori.
We told her that she had signed up twice, and she's like, forget it. It's a Merry Christmas. She said that. And we're like, okay, we'll take your money.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
thank you.
There's a lot of stuff. Check out our Patreon, but now, our YouTube, and now you'll be able to see us. And the best part is we're planning on releasing our interviews, the picture of it. People have asked before, because we're on Zoom during our interviews, and we're working on releasing them so you can see what we see during like our Zoom screen.
Release your inhibition.
Tim, you're going to get us sued for copyright infringement.
I think it's a parody because that wasn't good singing.
You're going to get us sued for tone deaf singing. Oh. That's what it is. So the movie
You know what else is tone deaf?
What?
Blake Lively.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Justin Baldoni. I'm kidding.
Oh, tell us your thoughts on that scandal, Tim.
It ends with us.
Does it? It ends with us. That is, wow. Talk about a he said, she said.
That's a movie I want to see.
That is. It is. I don't want to see that actual movie, but I would see a movie about the scandal.
Have you seen It Ends With Us yet?
No.
It made $350 million. Fun fact.
It globally.
No, just in California.
Just in Los Angeles. That many people. I have no interest in seeing it. I don't even have a comment on that scandal.
Oh, I can't get enough. If anything, I'd be sad if TikTok went away because everyone, there's just not enough information.
It looks like it was all a tease. TikTok is not going anywhere. Trump is keeping it going. And I told you I had this feeling when they first announced the ban. I was like, people are gonna find a way to keep it.
170 million people use it. And I have purchased things from the TikTok shop.
I have not, but I use TikTok for my job, and we use it for Happy Horror Time. I don't use it personally.
I don't think here's the problem. I mean, really quickly. I don't think they should call it TikTok because it sounds like a silly name. I think they need to call it like Americans Information or, you know what I mean? Like Hub of America. I don't know.
I don't know if that would change anything.
I think it would.
I think changing the name, you know what?
It sounds silly. It sounds like a play school toy.
TikTok.
Well,
what is, how about X?
That sounds filthy.
Yeah, exactly. Stupid. Anyway, okay, so we're going to go on to the movie we are covering today, which is, if you have seen it, it's the first big theatrical horror release of 2025, and it is called Wolfman.
Yeah, and you know, studios say that January is the dumping ground for films that no one wants to see or like it had problems, whatever. In this case, I don't know if that's true. I think it's a strong film.
Well, so basically, they've been doing reboots, remakes of Universal monster movies. And years ago, they did one for The Invisible Man, which was directed by the same director of Wolfman, Leigh Whannell.
Which was a solid, beautiful, fantastic film, and I'm sure it made buckets of money.
Yeah, the movie The Invisible Man was amazing. If you saw it, it was in 2020 with Elizabeth Moss, right?
Elizabeth Perkins from Big.
With Elizabeth Warren, the politician.
Elizabeth Olsen. Yeah. I need more Elizabeth.
So that movie was incredible. So when I saw that Leigh Whannell was doing another Universal monster movie, I was all in, and the trailer was really great for this movie.
I'm so impressed that you can say that last name. Just like roll it off your tongue.
Leigh Whannell?
I can't do it.
It's really tough. Whannell. No,
I'm not can't
say Nosferatu.
Okay. No snow.
Something's off. Yeah. So anyway, so we were excited. I didn't care about January, whatever, especially when you're looking for good horror to see at the beginning of the year. And so again, Wolfman, and the trailer, it was taking it to modern days, and I was all in. The trailer was great. What I didn't expect was the trailer.
I like a faster paced trailer. This one literally was showing like a scene the way they kind of do on Netflix.
That was the second trailer, the very first trailer, because we've been watching trailers for this for ages. How long?
I mean,
probably since summer of last year.
But don't get me wrong. I'm glad this film was made, and I'm jumping to the end, but I do like it.
They all die.
They all die. It was good.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, that concludes our review.
It's so good seeing you.
Yeah, I know. Goodbye. Great video. No, so the movie, I was really excited, but I guess it's a little, it depends on when you're taking like an old property, like whether it's Dracula, Wolfman, Invisible Man, you can really, if you want to modernize it, you can do any take on it. And I think it can work or it cannot work. With The Invisible Man, I thought, I don't know, the suspense was great. They just really added a lot to it. This movie, it wasn't the same as that. And I feel like, why don't we just get into it? Because
let's get into it.
So basically, small cast. It's actually, we'll start with the opening scene. They first say that they made it almost like it was a true real life story.
I was like, don't try to fool me. Yeah, there's no Wolfman.
They said that there's tribes in Oregon have, people have disappeared and they have thought they've got an illness called the face of the wolf.
No, is that a real sickness?
Oh God, I'm really suffering from a face of the wolf right now. Yeah, I was like, okay, we're not gonna buy it like that. But so they open on, by the way, beautiful landscape.
Was it filmed in Oregon?
I don't know. I hate when you ask me questions
I'm
that I don't
sorry.
know. How about you look it up? No,
I am so busy looking at my reflection.
Yeah, I know. I do not know. Let's say that it was. Okay?
I believe you.
Let's say that it was. It was filmed. It took place in Oregon, and it was beautiful. But so we open on, it is a father and his little son, and they are hunting in Oregon. And the father is, how would you put it, Tim?
He's a cutie. His name's Sam Jaeger, and this is a fun story. Sam Jaeger.
I think it's not Jaeger.
Is it Jaeger?
I think it's pronounced Jaeger.
Do you know what? This
like
whole
Jägermeister, the liquor starts with a J, but it's pronounced Jaeger. Let's go with Jaeger.
Okay. So Sam, I'm not even attempting the
SAM.
last name. Sam, I stayed with him in 1999 for 10 days and 10 nights when I was trying to figure out where to live in New York City, because one of my friends went to Otterbein because he went to Otterbein, and they're like, oh, I have got a friend in New York. So, okay, when I met Sam, who's, a big, huge now movie star in this movie, he was an extra in the movie Double Platinum with Brandy. Remember Brandy?
Brandy the singer.
Yeah, from I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Well, yeah, so he was an extra in it. And as I just moved to New York, I was so blown away. I was like, this guy was in a movie with Brandy.
Wait, so because your friend knew him, she told Sam that she had a friend going to New York, and he let you stay with them.
Yes, and it was this cute little apartment, and I want to say, let's just say Queens. I don't remember what borough. Borough?
Wait, borough. I'm like teaching elementary school here too.
Thank you for teaching.
Wait. So let me get this straight. Was he like home all the time?
No. Like he was busy like trying to be a working actor. So like he was auditioning every day, going to classes, and being really proactive. Whereas I was just like, where am I going to live?
You're like, hey, Netflix.
No, and I remember I went and I couldn't eat yet because I had all 4 of my wisdom teeth pulled. So I was just like walking around eating soup. I was just a mess. I was like with a drooling mouth.
Most important question: did he ever walk around naked?
No, he's a straight man, and I wasn't out yet. So I
love that.
I mean, not that I would have made any move.
I wasn't out yet. He was like, here's my straight buddy, Tim.
Yeah,
hey, Tim, you want to go to the bars?
He goes, let's talk about OSU Buckeyes. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
He's like, hey, you want to watch the game?
And I was like, what game?
You're like, yeah, RuPaul's Drag Race, I'm in.
That did not exist in 1999.
That is a random coincidence.
I love it. So, but when I saw him in the movie on the big screen, I was like, oh my gosh, it's Sam.
So Sam Jaeger plays this overbearing, very like, you're gonna do this way type of father, like very kind of controlling, militant father, wanting his poor little kid to learn to hunt. He's very kind of loses temper with him, but he's very protective of him also. And they come into contact with, well, at the time, it's just like a creature. They don't know what it is. It's really scary. And I will say that opening scene did have suspense for it. They have to hide in, what is that thing called? It was like
a bird watcher?
I guess it's like a bird watcher. It's almost like this little, I want to say sack, but it's like this raised thing you can climb up into and duck under. Oh my God, we have visuals so I can do this. Like duck under and then point your gun over. You see this, Tim? Like this is visuals. Look,
that was really good.
Did
this
you
is a
get
whole
it?
new world.
Watch this.
God.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Do you feel like you're in the movie?
I was like, gosh, you're bringing Wolfman back.
So but the thing is that they get away. Nothing happens. Tell me you didn't think either the dad was going to get murdered.
Oh yeah, I knew. I mean, and then later
in the opening scene, though.
Yeah.
I thought so, but nothing happened. So
and it was really good casting. Like usually, I don't like kid actors. I think if you listen to 250 episodes that we've done, 240. Kid actors annoy me, but I thought this kid was great.
He looked scared. He was, I feel like
good casting.
The caliber of kid actors nowadays has either risen or we've learned how to teach kids how to act
And I don't
better.
like to critique kid actors, but I just did.
So the opening scene, it's suspenseful, but nothing happens. But then they go back to their cabin, and the little kid overhears him talking to someone saying, like, I'm going to go back out there. I'm going to look for this guy, or this creature or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Suddenly, that's it. We switch to 30 years later, and that little kid is now a grown-up man living in, I thought it was New York, but I read it was San Francisco.
Oh, I mean, Yeah, gosh, it could have been either one in my eyes.
I mean, again, not saying Wikipedia is the number one source of information.
And, she's a journalist and he was a writer.
Well, okay, he's married. We got to say that he's married and he has a young daughter, and his wife is a journalist, very businessy, dedicated.
San Francisco or New York, could they afford that apartment?
It depends. Okay, well, it depends if she's a journalist for the New York Times, maybe.
Was she?
He was between. Remember, what was his job?
He was a at-home dad.
He said that, but what he was trying to be, like a writer or something, and he said, "But right now I'm an at-home dad." You can tell he loves his daughter, and he has a little bit of his dad's protective
military
instinct.
Kind of.
Not as bad, but just very much like when she's kind of walking too close to the street, he kind of yells at her, and then he catches himself and is like, "I don't want to be like my dad." That kind of thing.
He's very stern.
He and his wife is played by Julia Garner, who we love from Netflix, from Ozark, from Apartment 7A, The Rosemary's Baby.
And I love that she's done 2 horror films back to back.
Well, did we love Apartment 7A?
I enjoyed it.
Because of the ending.
I'm giving away the ending. She just jumps out of a window.
Done. You don't have to watch it now.
Yeah,
thank you.
Enjoy it.
Julia Garner, we loved her in Ozark. She was amazing. I think she won Emmy or Golden Globes.
There was a minute where she was going to play Madonna, but then they scrapped the whole idea.
In what? There's a Madonna movie?
A Madonna biography movie.
She'd be great.
She was going to play Madonna.
So the thing about Julia Garner, she has that really tight bleach blonde curly hair, which I thought was just for Ozark, but apparently that's just her hair.
I mean, it's cute and it grew on me. And she's wearing high-waisted jeans. And I know this is superficial, outer shell stuff, but high-waisted jeans are distracting.
That's what I think the note about this movie should be. High-waisted jeans are distracting.
But her hair looked like bye. What's his name? Justin Timberlake hair.
So yes, it's very tight blonde curls, and again, it's like.
But it grew on me because she was such a strong character.
I thought that was the way they made her look for Ozark, so a particular look, but I think that's kind of her look. But either way, the main guy now has grown up, Blake. He is played by Christopher Abbott. Now, I didn't recognize the actor, but you said you did, or what he's been in.
Yeah, he was in, what's his big one?
Well, it said that he started
he's in that
Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene.
Which stars, I want to say, Sarah Paulson. But and a fun thing about the director's also an actor.
Leigh Whannell started by writing Saw and acting in it. In fact, if you know the original Saw movie, he's the one in the room with Cary Elwes, who's like the younger guy with the white t-shirt, watches Cary Elwes saw his leg off. So he's been an actor. He's responsible. He's written the Insidious movies.
Yes, and I did a tiny research. He's Australian, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he was in the famous 1985 when it started soap called Neighbors, and he did 2 episodes. Not a huge deal, but I love that he was in the soap.
He works a lot with James Wan, the director, and they did the Insidious movies together, Dead Silence. But again, I remember him from Saw because first off, I remember thinking he was cute back then.
Really?
When
Okay.
Saw.
That's not shady. Oh, really?
Oh, really? That was judgy.
No, it was not. I'm just saying.
Well, the thing is that he is become a big name in horror, behind the camera. He doesn't pursue acting as much anymore, but he does writing and directing.
He should go back to Neighbors, 1985.
I think he should. Yeah.
It's still on the air.
So another thing about the family dynamic now, it's been 30 years, is that Blake and his wife, Charlotte, they're a little bit estranged. Their relationship isn't so great. And Charlotte actually doesn't feel like she's very close with their daughter, Ginger, who, how old would you say she is? 8, 9?
8, 9, that sounds
10, 15, 20,
35.
30. No, I think so she's a little estranged, and he gets a letter in the mail that says, "We have declared your father dead because he's been missing for a certain amount of time." And right away,
they're like, let's go to Oregon.
Well, and so they bring him his keys, and right away he decides, you know what? I need to pack up my dad's house. He's officially dead. This will be a good time for a family bonding vacation.
Oh gosh, it looked like a horrible vacation.
Well, the thing is that he was telling Charlotte, he's like, this is time for, you to grow closer to our daughter, and, we can go out in the middle of nowhere. And
they are out in the middle of nowhere. And it looked like a lot of horror films do this. They do this shot where they show a car in the woods going deep into the woods. And it's a cliche I don't mind, but wow, they really do it a lot.
So they switch right to the woods of Oregon, and we're back to where the movie had started 30 years before. And they are trying to get to his dad's house, but it's in one of those areas where there's no signs. There's no cell service.
That was depressing me because like, how helpless would you, I mean, they're off the grid.
And I was just thinking like, how, like, I guess I'm so used to like Wi-Fi. Like I get if you want to go away for like a couple days, but am I correct? Didn't he say we're going to be there all summer or something?
Yeah, it's going to be months.
Like I was like, no, count me out.
And so they pull up to what they think is the dad's house, but there's like a block.
Yeah, it's like a no trespassing sign.
And there's a man to the right standing in like the bird watcher.
Yeah, and they immediately like. What's funny is that Charlotte and Ginger, the wife and daughter, they are such city folk. They're like literally afraid of anyone. This guy has a gun, and Blake is like, oh, this is just how everyone is nowadays, or not out nowadays, out here. And the guy approaches, his name's Derek, and they ask about where his father lived, and he's like, hey, I'll take you there. Let me just get in the car with you. Well, the wife is like, no. They
do have a connection because earlier in the movie, Sam, you know who I know,
Sam Yeager, yeah,
who I can't pronounce his last name. He says he's talking to someone on the radio, and he's
like a neighbor,
and he has a son. So cut to this scene, that's the son.
But the difference is Blake, our main character, left the area, whereas this friend Derek has been in the area his entire life. So he gets in the car and he's like, I'll take you there. You just got to drive down this road. So we're driving. Now here's where I found the first major problem with this film. The second trailer, as Tim said, the first minute of the trailer is a scene where they're in a truck and they've gotten in an accident and are like sitting on the side of a cliff and the wolf man is attacking. So I knew watching this movie, they're going to get in an accident and be on the side of a cliff. So what do you know? They're driving. They see a creature in the road. He turns off the road and the car goes off the road. So all of that surprise was taken away from that.
Sadly, this movie, not sadly, it's still a wonderful big production, big Hollywood picture, but we saw everything in the trailer, and it's a story that is by the numbers, which it's so beautifully shot, and the actors are so good that I didn't even care.
There needs to, by the way,
fine.
For listeners who have stuck with us for many, many episodes, there's got to be a happy hard time bingo card. Tim saying beautifully shot.
It's true.
Me saying, the thing is, Tim saying that he worked at Warner Brothers, me talking about Halloween, Tim talking about Friday the 13th. These are things that come up all the time. What are other things we do all the time? Me calling you a bitch.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No. Me saying something filthy. You saying Matt.
But that's
something
not
like that. Yeah. Anyway, happy hard time bingo. Hasbro, Mattel, you can have the rights to it. Anyway, so yes, what Tim was saying. So we get the accident. They drive off the road. And the thing is that the poor guy, Derek, opens the passenger door and falls out.
Falls out.
Luckily, Blake gets his wife and daughter on top. They were able to climb out on top of the car. But right then they hear a creature attacking, and the creature, I guess, claws Blake's arm, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if they do show it, I missed it. And my eyes were on the screen.
I didn't see any blood when he clawed him.
And do you remember the movie Bad Moon from 1996 with Meryl Hemingway? Yeah. Did you see it?
It's sounding
familiar. It's a werewolf movie, and it's just way more bloody. And same thing with like a werewolf in London, a werewolf in what's the other one? Paris.
Yeah, I mean, Curse.
This movie,
Silver
it's
Bullet.
rated R, and it could have gone bloodier, and it just didn't.
I will say though, it does get bloodier, but this scene in particular was not very bloody.
I wanted to see, because this is the one person, because I knew the daughter and I knew the mother, and I knew the dad was going to be turning into a werewolf, but it's the one character you could have ripped to shreds, and they didn't.
So what happens is after the wolf, claws Blake, you see him drag Derek on the ground out of screen. Now, like Tim said, we could have seen him tear him the fuck up, but we didn't.
I was like, what a missed opportunity.
Tim, who loves to see people
I'm not like bloodthirsty, but I wanted to see something.
So my issue wasn't that. My issue was, oh my God, I saw this whole part in the trailer, and that's what I feel like. Okay, I do love good trailers, but maybe don't show this entire scene because it was one of the best scenes in the movie, and it was spoiled.
And the second trailer that they showed is when she gets in the car and a werewolf punches through the windshield. So it's like the two best scenes. I was like, you gave us the whole package. That's what she said.
Yes, you gave us your whole package. So anyway, Blake gets out of the car. He gets his daughter and wife, and they run to the house as the creature is following them. Now, I will say they were smart at the beginning to keep the creature sort of shadowy because just like any horror movie formula is, as soon as you see the creature head on, it's not scary anymore.
Give me a Coke.
Oh, that's another happy hard time bingo.
I've already said it twice.
Yeah. So they get into the house and they're scared or whatever, but they have no cell service. The only thing they have is this old school like police radio. Yeah. And they're trying to call for help. But that's when we get Blake is getting his wound on his arm is really fucking bad.
Okay, so I take that back. These are the scenes of his body falling apart, which is kind of gross, and it earns its R rating.
Yes. So, okay, first things first, he's sweating a lot. Then he starts he coughs up a tooth.
Right. And you know, the thing about this movie is the girl from Ozark,
his wife,
and him never have a discussion like, I mean, they kind of say what's wrong, but they both know what's going on, so they never say like, you're changing.
Well, I think we've seen enough of these movies that like if you got bit and started turning into a wolf, I'd be like, you're transforming into a wolf.
Right. But I thought you got hairier when you turned into a werewolf, but he was losing his hair.
The hair on his head, but he was getting more body hair. But anyway, so the first things is that his noise sensitivity is increasing. What I mean is they have this really bizarre scene where he hears like bump, 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 bump. He goes upstairs and he sees it's a spider just walking across a wall. And all I could think about in that scene is if he hears that so loud, wouldn't his wife's voice literally like shatter his eardrums?
Yeah. Well, again, there was not much talking between the couple. Like she was just accepting right from the get-go, like, okay.
There's one thing that I thought was weird and I got it later, but did you remember the scene where, we see through his perspective, he's like, hey, to his daughter, like, stay away from this. And he's calling out to his wife and they're both looking at him confused like this. And I'm like, why aren't they responding to him? You find out later he's not speaking in English. He's speaking like blah 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 blah.
He's speaking werewolf.
Werewolf. Oh yeah, Tim.
Oh yes.
But did you get that when he was talking to him and they weren't responding? Were you like, why aren't you responding to him? Or did you just...
Well, because they also did, in addition to the voice thing, they also showed what the werewolf was seeing, which was apparently blue and purple glowing.
They keep switching between, and I guess this was creative, but he's smiling at the camera. Oh my God.
Only because I knocked this.
This is what he does to mirrors also.
You don't even know me.
Yeah, so you see his POV and it's like the humans have glowing eyes. It's like purple and bluish and you don't quite hear what they're saying. But then we switch to the human's point of view and you can't hear what he's saying. So he's losing his motor functions and ability to communicate. And all I can think is that is so depressing.
It was very depressing. And are we at the point where he eats his arm?
Not yet.
Okay.
There is one point because are we at the point?
Listen, I just want to get to the part where he eats his arm and she has very little reaction.
Looks like she's going to vomit. Yeah. So he does hear that the wolf that attacked him is outside. And in fact, he puts his ear to a wall. And let me just tell you.
Tell me.
In any horror movie, when the person starts putting their head slowly to a wall, what happens, Tim?
Something flies through.
Something flies through or bangs on the wall. So the wolf grabs through a doggy door, like a pet door, and grabs Blake and starts pulling him out. And luckily, Charlotte gets like a hammer and starts hammering the wolf.
That reminded me of Friday 13th Part 4, the final chapter with Kimberly Beck and Jason when he pulls out Corey Feldman.
Bingo. Happy hard time bingo.
Yeah.
It did remind me of that. And didn't Kimberly Beck tell us it was a rubber hammer?
Yeah, she said it was flagellant?
No.
She used the word flagellant?
Okay, no. Okay.
What word she
Flatulent means farting.
Oh.
She said flaccid. Wow.
I'm not good with English.
This interview is over.
Whatever.
Flagellant.
Flagellant. She's farting.
I can't. She said it was flaccid, which is equally as funny, but Tim messing it up is even funnier. Anyway, then we get to a point where Charlotte's very scared, wondering what's going on with her husband. But the kicker of it all is when she takes his bandage off, his whole arm is completely infected and he can't help himself. And he just jumps backwards and starts gnawing at it like.
Okay, do you remember when you used to give your arm a hickey when you were a kid?
No, I was not a loser.
Never mind, I never did that either. That's what it reminded me of.
Never mind, I was not a loser. I did not do that. Did you do this too, Tim?
Maybe.
With your pillow while you were imagining
Sure.
your teacher. Ew.
What teacher?
I don't know. Hot for teacher? Someone?
I'm not repeating any teachers' names.
Oh my God. They're all watching right now.
Cute.
Hi, Ohio elementary school.
Gross.
Anyway, okay, we're moving on. So he's gnawing at his gross, bloody, chewed off, infected arm. Now, Tim, if you had to watch your partner, husband, gnawing at their arm, what would you do?
Well, first I'd be dazzled that I had a partner that had a house in Oregon.
You couldn't get past
that.
You couldn't get past that. No, she looks horrified. And I will say Julia Garner is really great at showing emotion.
You know what? In any other hands with this material, it could have come across as silly. But both of these actors are owning it. They're owning it.
Yeah,
Just own it.
He does this to a point where she looks like she is horrified, and she knows that at this point, like, this is not okay. And that's when they cannot really communicate. And she actually gives him a pad to write on, and he writes dying. And the thing is I was questioning this only because I'm like, he's sort of turning into a monster.
In the trailer,
let me finish.
Wait, I have to before my memory's so short. I thought in the trailer he wrote changing. Did they change that?
I don't remember that in the trailer. No, I don't remember that in the trailer.
Continue.
He's writing dying, and I was thinking to myself, if you are starting to turn into an animal and your motor functions are failing, could you write like an English word? I know I'm thinking too much.
No. I think you're absolutely right, because I think at that point he was not. That would have been hard for him to write dying.
That's what I was thinking. And also, he's not exactly... I mean, I guess for him, he feels... Look, who am I to judge someone turning into a wolf?
Listen, I don't think you speak wolf. I don't think you get it.
Look, you haven't been through what we've all been through.
Right.
The change. Mm-hmm. So anyway, she realizes that they need to get him to a hospital because, of course, a doctor is going to be able to stop this.
Well, I love that she's got delusions that she can get him there. There's no
way out.
Transportation.
She finds keys to this old truck that apparently the dad had.
Oh, by the way, there's so many keys. I love that she's like, first key, I got it.
Trying, yeah. She gets a battery pack. They have all the supplies they need, apparently. So she runs outside and she's like, shh, to like her wolf husband and the daughter. And she's able to start the battery up. And again, this would have been the second suspenseful scene if we hadn't seen it in the trailer, because she's able to start the car. And then she puts, because it's so dusty, the windshield wipers. And right when it wipes away, who's there?
Sam
Yeager, the wolf. Oh, we just gave that.
Yeah. I think everyone knew that was
the other
coming.
wolf man, and it, punches its hand or its paw.
His, wolf arm?
Wolf arm, yes. Through the car, and it's like grabbing her. But now the good news is that her husband hasn't fully switched into a wolf yet, so he kind of will fight with the wolf to save them. But they run on top of a greenhouse, but it looks like they're like sitting on plastic wrap. What were they on?
That was like, in the tradition of Halloween 4 and being on a rooftop, I don't think it could have even hold the family members.
It looked like, it's a covering to a greenhouse, but it looked like it was almost like what you put on top of a pool, kind of vinyl.
Like a pool cover.
Yeah, pool cover kind of top. So it's sagging and the wolf is underneath and it's jumping and scraping it and over. And of course, the daughter almost drops through. Now, did you think the daughter was ever going to get it?
Nah, that's the thing. the suspense level 0 because I was like,
the daughter's fine.
Everyone's fine.
And well, the reason why is the daughter's fine, and we saw the big scenes in the trailer. But anyway, we do get a fight scene between Blake and the other monster. In fact, there's a part where the monster gets his way. The other wolf makes his way into the house.
You could just say the dad.
Well, Blake fights him. I was going to do the big reveal, but basically, and at this point, I will say, and Tim, back me up on this. I looked over at Tim really early in the movie.
And you said, God, you're gorgeous.
I did not say that. I said his dad's the werewolf. Did I not? Yes, I said
I knew it was the werewolf. I knew what the dad was because I was like, who else could it be?
Well, his dad disappeared. They never found his body, and there's some curse of the wolf that turned.
Yeah, all signs lead to the dad.
Exactly. So there's a big fight inside, but Blake ends up biting out the throat of the other wolf and then sees on the wolf's arm the tattoo his dad had. So guess what? He just murdered his dad.
And he had a hideous tattoo.
It said what did it say? Lurker?
I thought it said love.
Lover? Lurker? Lover?
It said mom.
It said, hey, I'm going to become a wolf.
I think it said soon to be werewolf.
It said beware, wolf on the move.
I think it said bewitched. It's like favorite show.
Hey, tell me about the flatulent
you know what?
Hammer.
Flaccid and flagellant are kind of similar. No?
Are they?
I mean, in my mind.
So he's killed his dad, and the audience, big shocker, that other wolf was his dad. But the thing is that Blake, he's more and more becoming a wolf, and he's realizing like he can't be around his family. Like they are going to be in danger. And the thing is that also Charlotte and the little girl are realizing that, he is changing fully. But here's where it got a few cringe parts. Now, the dad and the daughter have this thing between them. Oh. I'm going to do it to you, Tim.
Okay, I'm ready.
Where the dad will put his hand on her forehead.
You're a werewolf.
And he'll say, I bet I know what you're thinking. Like, I think you're thinking, I love you, dad, or something. It's sweet the first time. They continue it a few times while he's changing into a wolf. And she's like, I know you're thinking I don't want to hurt you guys. Like, I was just like, cut this.
I didn't mind it because I was like, they have to have that little connection. It's kind of like Ghost, like Ditto and all that.
It got a little, but finally, basically, they realize that they need to get away from him because
he's turning to the point where he needs blood.
He's going to attack them. Yeah. So they go and they get away from Blake because he's starting to lose it and even start to attack them. And they run to a barn and there's a showdown in the barn, but not really. It doesn't last long.
I actually thought the barn was going to go on fire. Like I thought she was going to burn up her husband, but they didn't go that route. Instead, he got caught in a bear trap and then he gnawed off his
Yes. So I thought,
foot?
is this an homage, your favorite word, to the original Saw? Because basically he gets his leg caught in the bear trap. And then because he's a wolf, and I guess wolves just don't care, he gnaws his entire leg off. Not just a piece and crack it and get it out of the bear trap. He gnaws his entire leg off. And I was like, is this a little Easter egg related to the original Saw? Who knows? All I know is he's so wolfy at that point that he starts running after them with his peg leg.
Yeah, and then I thought, is he a pirate?
And then he's like, "Arg, I'm gonna get you."
And then they got on his ship and they said, "Oh my God, what is Johnny Depp doing here?"
And he said, "Ahoy, matey!"
Yeah,
and we were like, "What movie are we watching?"
Yeah, and then I left.
And then that was it. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
No, so he starts running after them, and it's almost like he's a three-legged dog. Like he's like,
that was clever though.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was.
I just thought, I lost it when he bit. Do wolves do that? I guess.
But if he would have bit them, they would have become wolves as well.
Or even scratched them, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So we get the wife and daughter are running through the forest. He's running after them. He's almost fully wolf now. He can't control himself.
They go up into the bird watcher.
They go up and they hide, and it's very reminiscent of that opening scene. And she has a shotgun, just like the dad did in the opening scene. She's waiting there, and you hear him creeping around, and then he raises his head up. And this is another part I thought was a little cringe. The daughter, like any daughter would say, it says he wants it to be over.
I'm glad she said that, because if the mom just blew him away and the daughter was like, "Don't do that,"
and the daughter's like, "What?"
No, so we needed everyone to be guilt-free.
I guess. Okay, now that you say that, I get it. They needed the daughter to say it's okay to shoot daddy. That should be a name of a movie.
Yeah, Shooting Daddy.
Or just It's Okay to Shoot Daddy.
Yeah.
And what happens is for like a quick second, he goes to attack and she just blows him away.
They do make eyes like kind of like I think he's fine. It's kind of like the inner struggle with Jesse and Freddie in Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's
it's
what
like he can't contain himself. So he knows she has to shoot him, but he sort of knows that it's the right thing to do. And so he knows that he has to die. So she blows him away and they go down there and they kind of are like sitting there with him as he dies.
I didn't need that scene, but okay.
But then the very end, and this was kind of a callback to what early in the movie when he's trying to sell his wife on going out to Oregon, he says, there is a view there that once you see it, it changes your life. And so the ending of the movie is the wife and the daughter by themselves are just looking at that view.
Well, first off, how can they I mean, obviously there's no more werewolves, at least hopefully not. But what about coyotes? Like, how is this mom and daughter going to get out of there?
The thing is, I think now that I don't know how many wolf men are out there, but I think the immediate danger's over for them. So now they can probably, I don't know. They
walk
probably
to a road?
Well, wait, they could still take that truck. They only ran out because the wolf was attacking it, but the truck was working.
They didn't walk towards the house. They walked out into a beautiful field.
Wanted to see that view.
She goes, before we get into the van or the truck, let's just look at this beautiful
All
field.
I was thinking was, how traumatized that little girl going to be?
She goes, remember when Dad turned into a werewolf and you shot him? Can you take me to class?
Remember when I was right there when you shot him? Hey, let's spend the summer in Oregon.
Yeah, good summer.
So what are your overall feelings on this movie, like in its entirety? Yeah.
I thought it was a great movie. I mean, I guess the sign of a good movie is if you'd want to see it again. If someone was like, hey, Tim, do you want to see Wolfman? I'd be like, okay. That's it.
Hey, that is a better reason for for giving a good review than I think. But in the past, you've said like, I wanted air conditioning and popcorn.
Well, I mean, I ate my popcorn during the trailer, but I thought it was a solid movie. I thought the acting was good. It was well written. It looked beautiful. I say it every week, but it was a great movie.
I wasn't as impressed only because, okay, so.
I mean, it's silly because it's a wolf.
Well, and not just that. Okay, I loved The Invisible Man. It was one of my favorite movies of 2020. Did a lot of movies come out that year? Not a lot. Anyway, great, just suspenseful, great from beginning to end. I didn't feel like a lot happened in this movie.
No, actually, now that you say it, of course I would see it again still. But I wish the body count was a little higher. Like maybe next door neighbors could
more
be
character
like,
sign.
Yeah, there could be like an old couple or like some young teens having a party, and they're like, "Oh my God, there's a werewolf here," and he eats them all.
By no means, like. I love simple movies, so usually this would be the type for me, but it was so simple that I felt like they got there, right when they got there, wolf attacks, and then it's just a last one night, and that's it. It felt like it was very short. Like I said, maybe if I hadn't seen any trailers, I would have been more into it, but the two most suspenseful, biggest action scenes were spoiled by the trailers, and so I went to see a movie that the two best scenes were spoiled, and the rest of the movie wasn't as exciting as those scenes, so I felt kind of let down. And I went into this movie wanting to like it. In fact, I remember being more excited, like Jacob came to see it with us, and he's like, yeah, I'll see it. I'm not that excited. And I was like, no, it's going to be good. It's like, yeah, I don't know why I was this big cheerleader, so maybe I shouldn't have gone in with such expectations.
Don't ever go in with expectations.
But should I go in with flagellant hammers?
Absolutely. Okay, I like to go into movies farting.
So I was kind of let down. Now, performance-wise, great.
Yeah, I think everyone in the cast will be up for Oscars.
Not at all, but I and the effects. Incredible.
Yeah, it wasn't too CGI heavy.
No, like the effects of him sort of transforming. You only saw it in stages, but really well done.
Would you say it's better than Werewolf in London?
Yeah. I cannot believe I admit that, but I think I've told you privately. Thanks for now making me come out on camera. I've never seen an American Werewolf in London. I know, and I'm
out of your house.
I should. My horror card is taken away. I don't know why.
We should watch it tonight.
I would love to because I know how great a movie it is, and I do like werewolf movies.
And this movie, by the way, when he is transforming and he's tearing through his clothes, he doesn't tear through his pants. And that's what the 1980 version did.
Oh, yes. They definitely keep his pants on at all time, which, again, I understand maybe if they don't want to have nudity, but if you're having him transform and he's ripping off his shirt, your pants would rip off too. Let's be like accurate.
Because, I mean, I go to this movie accuracy.
He wants, like Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Terminator, he wants floppity flop flop.
Max, clean it up.
Tim, flaccid. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, I just didn't. I thought it. I was underwhelmed. I think that's the best way to describe it. Like, I was underwhelmed. I was expecting more. Maybe if I hadn't seen the trailers, it just didn't feel like there was a lot to it. There wasn't a lot of. It just got right into it, and then it was done. And you're right. I would have liked either more characters or more of a story. The thing about the Invisible Man. That opening scene is so good. Then you get the whole story of her getting away from him, and a lot of instances where he's hunting her and then he's away, and it's a whole movie.
Yeah,
this
the
was
movie
like
has
a scene.
layers, and she's like sleeping with the enemy. He's not a good guy. This movie is so just like
There's other
a
characters.
family. Like they go to Oregon, there's a werewolf. Like it's like beat by beat by beat by beat, which is fine. I love a movie like that.
But literally, the night they arrive is the whole span of the movie. They don't even get to like sleep over.
No, the movie, I felt like at points it was in real time.
Yes.
Like, I was like, okay.
Literally, the movie was an hour and a half, and it took place through the night, so it couldn't have been, but it felt like that. And again, the only other character was that guy that we saw die in the trailer, because we saw in the trailer him open the door and fall out of the moving car. So yeah, I guess it's just, I would say for trailer makers, yes, make it a fun trailer, but don't give away your best scene, because then people are just going to go to the movie because of that scene and then be underwhelmed. Like, I don't know. I don't think it did so well the opening weekend, like 10 million.
I think it made 16.
I thought it made 10 or 12, but either way, look, like Tim said, January isn't supposed to be a big month for horror.
They call it, like in the biz, they call it the graveyard of
in the
films.
biz.
Yeah, because I'm in the biz.
But the thing is like, it's weird because Leigh Whannell is a pretty renowned horror person. Like I said, working on the Saw movies, Insidious movies, and The Invisible Man.
But I think it will do better than Exorcist, whatever. What was that movie
Believer?
called? Believer.
Oh, but that's like, that shouldn't even be comparable. Like, it just...
They're big studio movies.
But then they waited till October for that one. I'm just interested why they picked January for this. It could be because already, we have Heart Eyes, and what else is coming out in February? The Monkey. So maybe there's a lot of horror in February. Like,
they're first out of the gate, so...
That's the thing. So, I mean, would I recommend this? Could I, Tim?
Pamela Voorhees. Yeah, I mean, you know my opinion.
Well, you liked it a little more than me, or a lot more, maybe.
Let's not go crazy.
Yeah, I would just say, if you're watching or listening to this, just go in expecting what are you doing to the camera?
It's Brand New World. Go on.
Oh my God. He does this to the mirror too. Yes, he does. I would just say, I guess, go in knowing that it's going to be very fast paced and it's one night of a movie, and that the trailer scenes were probably the best parts of the movie. And you'll still, one thing I will say, because I like to find positive in things, and the performances are great. I was never bored.
I'm bored now.
Well, you'd rather just look at yourself in the mirror. So I was never bored by this movie. I felt like I was excited, or not excited. Whoa. I was excited.
No, I was wolf?
I was entertained the entire time. So it wasn't one of those movies where I'm like, ugh, when is this going to end?
No, definitely. And I don't think it was too long. What was the running time?
It's like hour 30, hour 40, hour 40.
That's perfect. That actually is the perfect running time.
What would be by the minute the perfect running time?
An hour and 30.
Oh, like 90 minutes. Exactly.
Yes, I love a 90-minute film.
You know what? When it's a movie I love, like it's a Halloween movie or a Scream movie, I want it to be like 2 hours. You don't.
Oh, God, no.
I will say this, though. When it gets to close to 2 hours and I have a big soda with me at the movie, I have to pee.
You're such a baby. I can hold it forever. That's what she
good.
said.
That's funny, because usually in your old age, I would think you'd lose that ability.
Okay, we're done. We're done.
Camera off. This interview is
calling me
over.
old.
Oh, well, this was fun,
That
Tim.
was fun.
I feel like, let me just tell you, video people, we're going to get better at this. So if you saw...
Listen, I'm not going to move my arms because I'm sweating.
I was thinking, oh my God, do I have sweat stains? I was putting my arm here. I don't even know if that's in frame. We're going to get better at this, but we will say this is a new thing for us, and we're going to be releasing video hopefully from now on. So if you are listening to this on their usual podcast channels and you're like, what are they talking about video? Check us out on YouTube. You just search Happy Horror Time. We have a channel.
It's spelled YOUTU HAPPYHORRTIME. Is that right?
Yeah, that is.
Thank you.
That's good. Happy Horror Time is HAPPYHORRORTIME. But seriously, if you're listening to us and you've never checked out our YouTube channel, we've actually had a YouTube channel for years, but we would just put the audio on it. Now we're going to be putting our video. So check us out on YouTube. Happy Horror Time. Wait, do I have to say and like and subscribe?
If you want.
I mean, that's so funny. Oh, and leave us what did they say? Leave us a
5
review.
stars.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I hate to do that, but I guess you kind of have to. So leave us a 5-star review. Did you like that?
You're
Tim?
so animated.
Leave us a 5-star review. No, but check us out on YouTube. Anyway, thank you, everyone. We really appreciate you listening, watching, everything, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Happy Horror Time.
If you'd like to support the podcast, please sign up to be a patron at www.patreon.com/happyhorrortime. As a patron, you get access to all our bonus content, which now includes 2 new bonus episodes every month, a monthly after show mini episode, access to our Discord community so you can chat with us directly, and the chance to review a film with us in one of our bonus episodes.
Patrons also get all our regular episodes ad-free and a day early, our monthly newsletter, the chance to vote in polls, and autographed Happy Horror Time stickers.
I'm Matt Emmert.
And I'm Tim Murdoch.
And we hope you have a happy horror time.